All praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everyone joining me on this program. This is the Fountain of Israel's Bible Studies program, and as always, it's an honor for me to stand before you on the Lord's holy Sabbath day. Now, before we get started with our lesson, I just want to invite everyone to please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, check the description box down below for the scriptures, or if anyone would like to donate if they feel edified. With that being said, let's jump right into the lesson. This lesson is going to be a two-part lesson. It is called the 7 Abominations unto God. 7 Abominations unto God. And I'll be reading from the scriptures version of the Bible so that we can get a deeper understanding of what's being said and conveyed to us. Now, these are some things that the Most High particularly hates, right? It's not the only thing he hates, okay? Let me be clear about that. It's not the only thing that he hates, but it's just some of the things that are just particularly detestable in his sight. He doesn't like it at all, right? You know, so there's a lot, because we know there's a lot of laws out there, you know, but there's some that just a little, just as a smoke in his nose, that it's an irritant that really pushes his buttons. And so the reason I want to do this particular lesson is because I want us to we want to try to keep all the commandments that apply to us, right? But these you want to stay away from particularly. You definitely want to stay, because this is really, really bad, right? So you just want to, you want to stay away from these and stay away from the, unforgivables, those type of things. So let's go ahead and jump into the Psalms, or Tehillim. And I'm going to go to chapter 26, and we're going to go ahead and look at a couple of things. When I get there, we're going to read 1 through 6, right? Psalm, or Tehillim 26, we're going to read 1 through 6. And it says, "Rule me rightly, O Yah, for I have walked in my integrity, and I have trusted in Yah without wavering. Examine me, O Yah, and prove me. Try my kidneys and my heart. For your loving commitment is before my eyes, and I have walked in your truth. I have not sat with men of falsehood, nor do I enter with pretenders. I have hated the assembly of evildoers, and I do not sit with the wrong. I wash my hands in innocence, and I walk around your slaughter place, O Yah." Okay, so I just wanted to read 1 through 6 on that. And I walk through your... See, this is one of the things that we, as believers, we as, Hebrews, we want to try to emulate, the psalmists. We want to try to emulate all these people, all the prophets, all the disciples, anyone who have done right in the sight of Yah. We want to emulate those type of things. And this is the type of attitude that we should have. I know your King James reads it a little bit different, but this is the type of attitude that we should have. We want to be inside. Tell me, examine me from the inside. He said, examine my kidneys and my heart, just my innermost being, right? Examine that. This is what I strive to do. I strive to try to do that, and to do your will, is what he's saying. He's trying to get that down inside of us. So we want to keep that in mind, right, as we go forward. So let's go to the New Testament real quick, and we want to go to, basically, it's going to be 2 Corinthians, right? But let's see here, right past Acts, right? And it's going to be Corinthians bet. So 2 Corinthians, and let's see what chapter I want. 13. Let's go to 13. 2 Corinthians, or Corinthians bet 13. All right, and when we get to 13, we're going to read 5 through 11. Let's take a look at this. 5 through 11. It said, "Examine yourselves whether you are in the belief. Prove yourselves. Or do you not know yourselves that Yeshua Messiah is in you, unless you are disapproved? And I trust that you shall know that we are not disapproved. And we pray to Elohim that you do no evil at all. Not that we should appear approved, but that we should do what is right, even though we should appear approved." For we have no power at all against the truth, but for the truth. For we rejoice when we are weak and you are strong, and this also we pray for, your perfection. For this reason I write this in my absence, so that, being present, I should not use sharpness, according to the authority which the Master has given me, for upbuilding and not for overthrowing. For the rest, brothers, rejoice. Be made perfect, be encouraged, be of one mind, live in peace, and the Elohim of love and peace shall be with you. So, Paul, or Shaul, he's trying to, he's trying to teach us, I'm trying to get us to examine ourselves. Before we think too highly of ourselves, before we think too much of ourselves, it's incumbent upon us to always self-reflect. Am I doing what's right? Because it's easy to point towards someone else. It's easy. We have 20/20 vision when we look at other people's flaws. And all I want us to do is be able to, kind of walk that line and say, you know what? I need to get on my grind. I need to get this thing right. Let me make sure I'm doing what I need to do. Let me make sure that I'm walking out my own salvation with fear and trembling, working it out. We want to make sure that's what we're doing, right? So let's continue. We're going to keep going. We're going to go over to Ephesians real quick. Go to Ephesians. 1 second. Then when I get to Ephesians, we want chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse 1 through 7, and then we'll jump around a little bit, right? Ephesians 4. Let's take a look. I call upon you, therefore, I, the prisoner of the Master, to walk worthily of the calling with which you are called, with all humility and meekness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, being eager to guard the unity of the Spirit of the bond of peace, one body, one Spirit, as you also were called in one expectation of your calling, one Master, one belief, one immersion, one Elohim and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But to each one of us favor was given according to the measure of the gift of Messiah. We're going to drop down to 11. We're going to read 11 and 12, and then we'll drop down again. 11 says, and he himself gave some as emissaries, and some as prophets, and some as evangelists, and some as shepherds and teachers, for the perfecting of the set apart ones, to the work of service, to a building up of the body of Mashiach, or Messiah. Okay? Now from there we're going to drop down to 17, and we'll read 17 to 32. 17. So this I say, and witness in the Master, that you should no longer walk as the nations walk, in the futility of your mind, having been darkened in their understanding, having been estranged from life of Elohim, because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the hardness of their heart, who, having become callous, have given themselves up to indecency, to work all uncleanness with greediness. Okay, so we're catching this, we're getting this, okay? All uncleanness with greediness. Okay? But you have not so learned Messiah. If indeed you have heard him and were taught by him, as truth is in Yeshua, that you put off with regard to your former behavior, the old man being corrupted according to the desires of the deceit, and to be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And that you put on the renewed man, which was created according to Elohim, in righteousness and set apartness of the truth. Therefore, having put off the false, speak truth, each one with his neighbor. For we are members of one another. Be wroth, but do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your rage, nor give place to the devil. Let him who stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands what is good, so that he has somewhat to share with those in need. Let no corrupt word come out of your mouth, but only such as is good for the use of building up, so as to impart what is pleasant to the hearers. And do not grieve the set apart spirit of Elohim, by whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. And let all bitterness and wrath and displeasure and uproar and slander be put away from you, along with all evil. And be kind towards one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, as Elohim also forgave you in Messiah. So he's just breaking down how we should be going forward. All right, let me ask you, are we doing this? Are we incorporating this in our lives? In all of our lives collectively, are we incorporating this attitude? Being guided by the Spirit and put off all these negative things. I mean, like for one, he said, okay, you can be mad, don't sin. You can be angry, just don't sin. Because no one said, you're angry. It doesn't make you automatically wrong because you're angry. You can be angry and sin not. If I get angry or something and I go to the gym and I work out, but I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm upset, but I'm working out. I didn't sin. I go hit the heavy bag or something. I'm angry, but I didn't sin. You see? Just little things that so that we don't become, as the scripture says, that we don't become callous. It's important for us to keep our sword sharp. It's just that crucial. That crucial, guys. That crucial. Let's just keep going, okay? We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go to Mishle or Proverbs. Okay, we can go to Mishle, chapter 6. Mishle chapter 6, or Proverbs chapter 6, for those who are in the KJV. Okay. So we're going to go to Proverbs or Mishle chapter 6, and we're going to start at verse 16. So 6, and we're going to start at 16. We're going to do 16 through 19. But let's look at this. This is really what the lesson is built around, right? 16 through 19. It says this. It says, these 6 matters Yah hates, and 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hand shedding innocent blood. A heart devising wicked schemes, feet quick to run to evil. A false witness breathing out lies, and one who causes strife among brothers. We're going to look at each of these things, right? We're going to look at each of these things, but look at some of these things that he was saying, okay? 7 of these, okay? Proud look, arrogance, haughtiness. Think you're all that, got it all figured out. Hates that because he humbles the proud, right? He resists the proud, he will humble them. Okay? A lying tongue, we know what that is. Get a lot of that today. We look at the world today, right? The hand shedding innocent blood. What's going on in our world right now? Got people just taking lives of other people willy-nilly. The love of many have waxed cold. A lot of innocent lives being lost, thrown away, snuffed out. Let's not even get into abortion. The innocent, right? A heart devising wicked schemes. You're just thinking about just how you're going to get somebody, right? How you're going to get over on them, how you're going to take advantage of them, how you're going to set them up, how you're going to do something. Some evil scheme, right? Just devising. Just the mind, just the thoughts, right? The heart, just the thoughts of coming up with some evil schemes, right? Feet quick to run to evil. Just you ready to go. You got it? Okay, you plot the evil scheme, I got you. Okay, I'm the shooter and the driver. I got you. This is quick, ready to run to do evil. A false witness breathing out lies just because you don't like somebody. Just because you want them to get caught up, just because you don't like them, just lie on them. They did that to the Messiah too. Yeah, this man, he said this and that. He said A, B, C, X, Y. Yeah. Just lies. Just Just lies. That's all. I mean, come on, people. We have to deal with all this in the world right now, today, right? And then, and one who causes strife among brethren, just stirring the pot, just stirring the pot, right? So we're gonna go ahead and examine it. We're gonna examine it, play, mess with it a little bit. But let's go ahead. We're in Proverbs. What was that, 6? Let's go to 13. We're gonna read 1, 13 and 10, or Mishle, 13 and 10. One verse. Okay. 13 and 10. 10 says, by pride comes only strife, but wisdom is with those who take advice. I've often said, when someone is proud, is full of pride, it's like they can't learn anymore. When someone's so proud, so haughty, so high-minded, you can't really tell them anything. You can't reason with them. Oh, I know. They know everything. They got it all figured out. They know it all. And I understand if someone is assured of something, that's okay. But it should be able to stand up to scrutiny, at least on some level, right? We have to test. Sometimes we got to test what we know. We got to test what we know. Sometimes my sharpest, a couple of select brothers that I speak with, and we look over certain doctrines or whatever, and we go back and forth to try to get this thing tightened down, right? To see if there's any thread that one can pull and everything becomes unraveled. Because if we believe something and it doesn't stand up to scrutiny, well, is it true? And we do this deliberately. We're not upset at each other or whatever because we know what it is. It's like, okay, let me just see. Maybe I'm not looking at this from all angles. That's just so pride doesn't get in. So pride doesn't get in. Mishle, or Proverbs, chapter 8. And from chapter 8, I just want one verse. Let's look at 13. 8 and 13. 13 says this. The fear of Yah is to hate evil. I have hated pride and arrogance and the evil way and the perverse mouth. Pride, arrogance, the evil way. People talking all kinds of just saying things that they ought not say. Just flying off at the mouth, right? He says he hates that. He hates that. So, I bring these things up so we don't fall in the trap. Okay? I don't want us to fall in the trap. So let's go. Let us continue. We're at 13, but we're going to go to the New Testament now and go to Romans or Romium. Okay. Romans. And when we get to Romans, we're actually going to start in the very first chapter. Okay, and when we get there, we're going to read 28 through 30. Okay, 28. And even as they did not think it worthwhile to possess the knowledge of Elohim, Elohim gave them over to a worthless mind to do what is improper. Having been filled with all unrighteousness and whoring and wickedness, greed, evil, filled with envy, murder, fighting, deceit, evil habits, whisperers, slanderers, haters of Elohim, insolent, proud, boasters, devisers of evil, disobedient to parents, without discernment, covenant breakers, unloving, unforgiving, ruthless. Right? I read a little bit further. I want to go to 30, but I went up 31. I mean, you guys can prove it. Read the rest of it if you like. You read 32. But look at some of the things that just the Most High just don't. He He doesn't like, he doesn't, he's going to deal with this in due time. He's going to deal with this swiftly. He doesn't like it. He's going to take care of this swiftly. Right there. But you know what? I'll read 32 anyway. Who? They know the righteousness of Elohim, that those who practice such deserve what? Death. Not only do the same, but also approve of those who practice them, okay? Because evil begets evil. People, you know, when people are doing wicked, when they're doing wrong, they love it when other people are doing wrong too. They love it. They love it. They rejoice in it. They're messing up, they want you to mess up. Why? They don't want you to have nothing over them, right? They want you to share in their misery. Misery does love company. Evil loves company too. Depravity loves companies too. Degenerates love company too. They flock, you see, they flock together. This is what we're dealing with, brothers and sisters. This is what we're dealing with. This is what's out there in the world. Let's keep in mind the things that the Most High does not like. Let's just keep that in mind. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at a little bit more here, okay? Hold on here. And we're going to go over to James chapter 4. Let's go to James 4. When we get there, we're going to read 5 through 7. James 4, 5 through 7. Okay? Yaakov. James or Yaakov. Chapter 4, 5 through 7. 5 reads this way. Or do you think that the scripture speaks to no purpose? Does the spirit which dwells in us intensely crave unto envy? But he gives greater favor because of this. He says, Elohim resists the proud, but gives favor to the humble. So then, subject yourselves to Elohim. Resist the devil, and he shall flee from you. You resist the devil. See, what you have to understand is that when the devil comes into your life, whether that be, it may be in a dream, right? You might have a dream, and it's prophesying something evil or whatever, okay? You wake up, when you wake up, rebuke that dream, you don't want that, right? Or in real life, okay? Some dirty foot duck butter muffin may come up to you and try to take that which the Most High had given you as truth and try to just turn it on its head. Oh, you don't have to do that. That's not what it is. It's your interpretation, or whatever the case may be. And you're looking at it plain, you're breaking it down. You're looking at proper interpretation, proper hermeneutics. You're looking at the interlinear. You're looking at your blue letter. You're looking at your Strong's Concordance. You're looking at all these things to get it nailed down, and still someone's going to try to come and tell you something different. It's what they do. It's what they do. Brothers and sisters, don't be deceived. I want you to stay away from these things that the Most High find detestable. Don't give company or give time and give your spirit, give your energy, open yourself up to some of these people who are trying to take that which is good from you. And have you sliding down this slippery slope. Don't allow them to do this. These butter muffins don't care about you. They don't. They do not care about your salvation. They don't care where you end up. Let's go to Matthew or Mattiyahu. Matthew or Mattiyahu 23. Mattiyahu 23, and we'll start at 1. Let me get there. All right, one more chapter. 23, we're going to start at 1 through 12, which reads this way. Then Yeshua spoke to the crowds and to his taught ones, saying, The scribes and Pharisees sit on the seat of Moshe. Therefore, whatever they say to you to guard, guard and do. But do not do according to their works, for they say and do not do. For they bind heavy burdens, hard to bear, and lay them at men's shoulders, but with their fingers they do not wish to move them. And they do all their works to be seen by men, and they make their tefillin wide and lengthen the tzitzits of their garments. And they love the best places at feast and to the best seats in the congregation, and the greetings in the marketplace, and to be called by men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But you do not be called Rabbi, for one is your teacher, the Messiah, and you are all brothers. And do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your Father, he who is in the heavens. Neither be called leaders, for one is your leader, the Messiah. But the greatest among you shall be your servant, and whoever exalts himself shall be humbled, and whoever humbles himself shall be exalted. See, the Messiah came and he set things in order. Don't think too much of yourself. Don't be too prideful. Don't do so much stuff for the glory of men. You wear all your seats and all that other stuff. That okay, fine. So you're supposed to be wearing that for you. It's supposed to be for you. Let's continue, brothers and sisters. We're going to keep this going. Don't worry. We're working it. We're working. We're working. We're going to go back to Tehillim or Psalms 10. And when we get there, we're going to read 1 through 7, Psalms 10, or Tehillim 1 through 7 of chapter 10, which reads, Why do you stand afar off, O Yah, hiding in times of distress? In arrogance, the wrongdoer hotly pursues the poor. They are caught by the schemes which they devise. For the wrongdoer boasted of his cravings, and the greedy one cursed and despised. In the pride of his face, the wrongdoer does not seek him. In all his thoughts, there is no Elohim. His ways are always prosperous. Your right rulings are on high, out of his sight. He snorts at all his adversaries. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved. From generation to generation, never be in evil. His mouth is filled with cursing and deceit and oppression. Cursing and deceit and oppression. Under his tongue is trouble and wickedness. He's a bad person. Bad person. See, the scriptures give us plenty of examples of people or personalities that we should not follow, that we should avoid. Telling us what the Most High likes and what he doesn't like. Certainly giving us counsel, giving us a description of what he wants, giving us orders, telling us exactly. It's up to us to figure it out. It's up to us to listen to it, to take heed. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? What are we doing, brothers and sisters? What are we doing? Are we going to take heed? Are we going to act like nothing is being said? He doesn't really mean it. Or he's just playing? Or should we really take this to heart because the king is soon coming? You tell me. You tell me. What are we going to do? When are we going to start taking this serious? Okay? Some of these things, look, there's pride and arrogance and stuff, right? Deceitful schemes, lies, false witness, things like he didn't like these things, right? He knows all these things get people caught up. All these little things get people caught up, either you or somebody else. It gets you caught up and cut off, or somebody else caught up and cut off. You notice that? You start to see a pattern there? Let's go to the next one. Let's go to Mishle 12. And when we get to 12, we're going to start reading from, we're going to read 17 through 19. 17 through 19. The 17 says, and he who speaks truth declares righteousness, but a false witness, deceit. Rash speaking is like piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is healing. You see the contrast. The lip of truth is established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. See, the truth will live out forever. This whole truth, everything that we believe, is truth, and it will live forever. It's gonna be around. Okay, but all lies will burn in the fire. All lies will pass away. They won't stand. And the person or people who told them, they will pass away as well. They won't stand either. They will perish as well. See, so lying tongue. We're touching on each of the things that he hates, right? We're touching on each of the things that he hates. Lying tongue. He doesn't like a lying tongue. And it's funny because some people, when you think about it, he doesn't like a lying tongue. And yet, people, if they do something as simple as just zip it, rather than lie, hey, I got nothing to say. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's as easy as that. Just, I got nothing to say. But some of us, we don't know how to control our tongue. We have to say something. We got to be in the mix. Just keeping it real. Let's go to Jacob or James. We're going to go to chapter 3 in James, 6 through 10. 6 reads this way. And the tongue is a fire, the whirl of unrighteousness. Among our members, the tongue is set, the one defiling the entire body, and setting on fire the wheel of life, and is set on fire by Gehenna. For every kind of beast and bird or reptile and creature of the sea is tamed and has been tamed by mankind. But no man is able to tame the tongue. It is unruly, evil, and filled with deadly poison. Unruly, evil, and filled with deadly poison. With it, we bless our Elohim and Father, and with it, we curse men who have been made in the likeness of Elohim. Out of the same mouth proceed blessings and cursings. My brothers, this should not be so. It shouldn't be that way. Let me ask you this. Have you ever spoke to someone, or maybe someone you follow, and in one breath they're, all praises to the Most High, hallelujah, oh, Yeshua, Mashiach, Jesus Christ, it's all that, right? And then the next time you see them, somewhere on social media, and they are just, you need that cough button, right? You use it, beep, beep, beep. You see other posts, and they don't sound any different than someone from the streets. You cannot tell the difference. Now, again, brothers and sisters, I'm not talking about in special circumstances. Special circumstances, Maybe you defend the honor of your wife. You may not say things in the nicest way. That's okay. It's okay. You're about to throw hands and, defend your family or something like that. Okay, cool. But what about just everyday life? What about that? Just everyday normal life. You're a sailor at recess. Some people just don't have I'm going to leave it alone. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's go to 2 Samuel. Let's go to 2 Samuel. And we'll get there. We're going to go to chapter 1, 2 Samuel. Go to chapter, pardon me. 2 Samuel. There we go. 2 Samuel, and we are going to go to chapter 1. And let's see here. We're going to start at verse 1. 1 through 16. And let's look at this. And it came to pass, and it came to be after the death of Shaul, when David had returned from striking the Amalekites, that David remained 2 days in Ziklag. And it came to be on the third day that, see, a man came out of the camp from Shaul with his garments torn and dust on his head. And it came to be, when he came to David, that he fell to the ground and did obeisance. And David said unto him, From where do you come? And he said unto him, I have escaped from the camp of Israel. And David said to him, What was the matter? Please inform me. And he said, The people have fled from the battle, and also many of the people have fallen and are dead. And Shaul and Jehoiakim, his son, are dead too. And David said to the young man who informed him, How do you know that Shaul and Jehoiakim, his son, are dead? And the young man was informed him, said, By chance I was at Mount Gilboa and saw Shaul leaning on his spear. And see, the chariots and horsemen followed hard after him. And when he looked behind him, he saw me and called to me, and I answered, Here I am. And he said to me, Who are you? So I answered him, I am an Amalekite. And he said to me, Please stand over me and put me to death, for agony has seized me, but my life is still in me. For I stood beside him and put him to death, for I knew he would not live after he had fallen. And I took the diadem that was on his head and the bracelet that was on his arm, and had brought them here to my master. And David took hold of his garments and tore them, and also all the men who were with him. And they mourned and wept and fasted until evening for Shaul and for Jehoiakim, his son, and for the people of Yah, and for the house of Israel, because they had fallen by his sword. Then David asked the young man who informed him, Where are you from? And he answered, I am the son of a sojourner, an Amalekite. And David said unto him, How was it you were not afraid to stretch out your hand to destroy the anointed of Yah? And David called one of the young men and said, Draw near and fall on him. And he struck him so that he died. And David said to him, Your blood is on your own head. For your own mouth has witnessed against you, saying, I myself have put to death the anointed of Yah. Now, brothers and sisters, if you read this Bible, if you go over to 1 Samuel, you'll see that this guy lied. He did not kill Shaul. In fact, Shaul killed himself by thrusting himself on his own sword, and his shield bearer with him did the same thing, killed himself, so he died with his king. But this guy, because he lied, and his blood is on his own hand, because you wanted to get glory, you wanted to get recognition, you were chasing clout, and he died for it. And this death is not held to David's charge because the guy lied. He asked for it. Whether David know it or not. He said, why did you feel okay with just killing a king, someone who's anointed by God? Why did you feel okay to do that? I mean, come kill this dude. Just kill this dude. And he died. Over a lie. Look at what they do for views, as it were, right? Most High didn't like it. He doesn't like it. And yet, people do it all the time. They've been doing it since the beginning. Brothers and sisters, they've been doing it since the beginning. Let's go on over to Devarim. Let's go to Devarim, or Deuteronomy 19. Devarim and Deuteronomy 19. We're going to start at 11. I'm going to read 11 through 13. And 11 reads this. But when anyone hates his neighbor, and shall lie in wait for him, and rise against him, and strike his being so that he dies, that he shall flee to one of these cities. And the elders of his city shall send and bring him from there, and give him into the hands of the revenger of blood, and he shall die. Your eye shall not pardon him, but you shall purge the blood of the innocent from Israel, so that it might be well with you. So, make it to that city of refuge, you might have a chance. But if a revenger, like someone killed an innocent person, okay? Let's just say someone unalived a family member of yours, and then you go and seek revenge, and you get them. That's not held against your charge. Let me say carefully, I'm talking about in this biblical context. Because you have somebody's going to run out, and they're going to say, oh, Moray Reed is saying it's okay to go kill someone, take revenge. Now, I'm not saying that, because someone's going to come with the scripture, vengeance is mine, says the Lord, and all that. Okay, I get it. I'm just reading what happened. That's it. Okay? I'm just reading what happened. I'm not saying go and exact your revenge. I'm not saying, you probably going to end up going to jail, or you may get deleted yourself. Okay? Chances are. So I'm not saying that. I'm reading it in context. Okay? In context. Okay? The shedding of innocent blood. Going just the seven abominations or whatever. He don't like the shedding of innocent blood. Okay? So I'm just reading this in context, giving you guys an idea. Okay? So let's take it easy. All right? I already know someone will try to clip it and be like, oh, see, this Bible teacher is talking about, taking revenge and deleting something. No, I'm not. It's probably not going to end well for you, but you get the context. So, let's continue. Okay, I'm just going to go over to the beginning. Let's go to Bereshit, or Genesis. And we're going to go to chapter 9. Chapter 9. Okay. Now let's look at verse 6. And it says what? Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood is shed. For in the image of Elohim has he made man. So if you shed innocent blood, your blood will be shed. By man. That's why a lot of times, if you think about it, I don't wish anybody, go to prison except those who deserve it, obviously. But look at the people who get it the worst in prison. I won't even name it. I'm gonna let you guys name, because you guys already know. You guys already know. Just think about the people who get it the worst, to get the worst treatment when they are in there. People messing with innocent people deleting people. I'm just saying. I'm gonna keep it going. By man. Didn't say a good man was gonna do it, right? Just said another man's gonna do it. You shed innocent blood, another man's gonna shed your blood. Didn't say the guy was righteous or wicked or whatever. Just you follow me? You guys get me, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Well, we're gonna keep it going. Let's just keep it going. We're gonna go to Our next chapter, we're going to go over here to Numbers, or Bamidbar, chapter 35. Bamidbar, chapter 35. And we'll start at 15. 35. There we go. We're going to go 15 all the way up to 31. 15 all the way up to 31. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the city of refuge, right? Because, tying in with shedding of innocent blood and things like that, and people exacting revenge and all that. Some of the stuff that we'll be talking about, right? Shedding of innocent blood. Okay, Bamidbar are Numbers 35, starting at 15. It says, "These 6 cities are for refuge for the children of Israel, and for the sojourner, and for the settler in their midst, for anyone who mistakenly strikes someone to flee there." This is where you go to, you strike, you need a place of safety at this point, right? 16. "But if he has stricken him with an instrument of iron so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. And if he has stricken him with a stone in his hand, by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. Or if he has stricken him with a wooden instrument that could kill him, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death." Are you guys starting to get a theme here, right? 19. "The revenger of blood himself puts the murderer to death." See, this certain person, okay, in this specifically it says the revenger, right? But it didn't even say, but we'll continue to read. "The revenger of blood himself puts the murderer to death. When he meets him, he puts him to death." Basically, today it's on sight, right? It's on sight. You ever seen people completely crash out in courtrooms? I mean, they have a complete meltdown, like the family member and the defendant, the murderer, okay, the person who deleted someone. You'll see dudes jump out of the crowd, want to get at that right there on site. They do not want this person to make it to jail or get off or anything. They don't want none of that. They want to get rid of this person, okay? They want this person deleted. You seen that? It's 19. "The revenger of blood himself puts the murderer to death. When he meets him, he puts him to death." It's on sight. 20. "And if he thrusts him through in hatred, or throws an object at him while lying in wait, so that he dies, or in enmity he strikes him with his hand so that he dies, the one who struck him shall certainly be put to death, for he is a murderer. The revenger of blood puts the murderer to death when he meets him. But if he pushes him suddenly without enmity, or throws an object at him without lying in wait, or uses a stone by which a man could die, throwing it at him without seeing him, so that he dies while he was not his enemy or seeking him harm, then the congregation shall judge between him who struck someone and the revenger of blood according to these right rulings, right? So they got to make a determination at that point. Accident, involuntary manslaughter, stuff like that. "And the congregation shall rescue the manslayer from the hand of the revenger of blood, and the congregation shall return him to the city of refuge where he had fled, and he shall remain there until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the set apart oil," right? So he's, say someone deletes someone else by accident, okay? They did not do it on purpose, but that person did die, okay? Now the revenger, whoever that is, it could be a family member, maybe not. But that person, like, oh no, it's going down, right? They want to get rid of this person, whatever. But it was like an accident. So the congregation of Israel is like, well, it's an accident. So he didn't do it on purpose, In this case, he didn't do it on purpose. So he tell this dude, okay, to go to the city of refuge, one of the 6 cities of the city, and you better stay there. Because if you step outside that city and this dude gets you, it'd be nothing we can do. You better stay there until the high priest dies. Right? Are you guys getting it? You understand? Okay, so, okay. With the set apart also, 26, he said, but if the manslayer at any time goes outside the limits of the city of refuge where he fled, what did I just say? And the revenger of blood finds him outside the limits of his city of refuge, and the revenger of blood executes the manslayer, he is not guilty of blood. If he catch you outside, to put it in our modern day vernacular, if he catch you outside, it's on sight, and he's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. That's it. And the Most High said he's not the revenger. He's not in. He's not guilty. He's not guilty. So going back to, remember the 7 abominations? Shed innocent blood. He really hates it when people shed innocent blood. Brothers and sisters, I hope you guys are getting it. I really hope you're getting it. 28. Because he should have remained in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the manslayer is to return to the land of his possession, right? And these shall be for a law of right ruling to you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoever strikes a beam, the murderer shall be executed by the mouth of the witnesses. But one witness does not bear witness against someone to die. And take no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death, but he shall certainly be put to death. Brothers, the Most High does not like the shedding of innocent blood, right? So I'm going to touch on each one. I'm going to touch on each one of these things, one by one, little by little, and just touch on each one, right? We're going to look at each one of these, and I'm just showing you. I'm just pointing it out to you that these are abominations unto the Most High Yah. Oh, no, he doesn't like any of this. The lying, the shedding of innocent blood, the bearing of false witness, all these type of things. We got to understand this type of world. The reason why I want to point these out is because we're in this type of world that this is done on a daily basis. This is what people do. This is what we are as humans. This is what we do. We get on social media and we lie all the time. We don't like anybody. We will bear false witness against them. We shed innocent blood all the time. And these are abominable. These are detestable things that the Most High does not like. Evil schemes, evil, divining all these schemes. I mean, even Israel, even the original 12 brothers, what did? They schemed against Joseph. Oh, I got a plan. Well, hey, let's kill him. Okay, no, that's our brother. We don't want to kill him or whatever. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's sell him. Just coming up with an evil scheme. They kind of sort of had to pay for that. Look at the high priest over in Daniel's day when he was in captivity, Nebuchadnezzar, and what do they want to do? They come up with their own evil schemes. Let's make a decree that you can't pray to any other god except for the king. Stroking the king's ego. Trying to get Daniel caught up. And of course, Daniel just kept doing his thing, kept praying. They're like, hey, did you hear about, you can't do, yeah, okay, I heard about it. And he goes in his window, face Jerusalem, and start praying like he normally did. Obviously, thrown in the lion's den after that, of course. And of course, he was okay. And then the other guys, the priests, who all wanted to get him caught up like that, they got done in. And we can go on and on and on, devising these evil schemes. All right, we're gonna. You know what? What I want to do? I want to go back. I want to go back to those abominations, if you will, real quick, because we're gonna go into part 2 and get that. So let's go to Mishle of Proverbs. Right, we're gonna go to Mishle of Proverbs, and that was over at 6. Okay, let's go, because we're going to have part 2 talking about the exact same thing, right? And 6 is 16 through 19. So one more time, guys. These 6 matters Yah hates, and 7 are an abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands shedding innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that's quick to run to evil, a false witness breathing out lies, and one who causes strife among the brethren. These are the things that the Most High finds to be abominable, and he does not like it. He finds it to be abominable. And so we've been touching on it, and I want you guys to join me for the second part so we can kind of touch on some of the rest. We covered a couple of them, but we're going to go ahead and get the rest down in there. These particular sins, these particular things, I want you to actively avoid. Actively. The lying, the false witnesses, the shedding of innocent blood. I want you to actively do not have anything to do with these. Okay? Obviously, we're supposed to keep all. That apply to us. Let me give you that little caveat. That apply to us. But particularly, don't get on this list. Okay? Don't deal with these things right here. Don't be arrogant, prideful. Don't do that. That proud look. Don't do that. The lying tongue. Don't lie or keep your mouth shut. Live an honest, clean life. Hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart or mind that devise evil schemes. Someone whose feet that run quick to do evil, you ready to do it, gung-ho, you bear false witness, or you causing strife among the brethren. Rumors and gossip, and so-and-so said this, and so-and-so said that, and all that. These ones particularly. Now, we'll break it down, but I want to give you the cliff notes, the bullet point. Boom. 1 through 7. Avoid these, please. So I hope someone has been edified by this lesson. This is part 1 of the 7 abominations unto God. The next one is part 2. Let's go ahead and finish this thing out. Let's get the rest of them done, so you have a little bit of, a deeper understanding of what's expected of us, at least to avoid these. Avoid these. It's also a good idea, before I let you go, it's also a good idea. Some people say, oh, well, we got to keep the law. Where should we start? And I can say start at the Sabbath, so that's just one, right? Or start at the dietary law. You can even say right here, well, how about this? How about you start right here? Since this is what the Most High hates in particular. Now, he hates all sin, but these 7 here are abomination unto him. So let's start there. This is a great place to start. Let's start right here. This is perfect, right? So, with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and close out this particular lesson. This is part 1 of 7 abominations unto Yah. And let me please remind you to invite you to like, share, subscribe. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. Check the description box down below, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Search the scriptures and prove all things. Shalom, Israel.